Hello and welcome everybody to the All American Spook Show YouTube channel. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Donnie
Yo.
and the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And we brought over two guests from the Hero Movie Podcast. We've got Adam Portress
Hello, everybody.
and Mr. Bruce.
Hey. Glad to be here with my ghost hand.
It's as spooky as it gets already with ghost hands abound.
He's having a lot of fun with the virtual backgrounds there, so we'll let him have fun over in the corner there. But
Why are you breaking the reality? That's totally real. Stop.
So what we're here for is we're going to do like a preview / prediction show here live on the YouTube channel for the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, which is coming up. We figure probably sometime in May. I don't know if they've announced like an official date of when it's going to be. The last couple of years it was mid-May, and they did it live on Shudder. So hopefully that'll be the case again this year, and we'll go live during that to kind of give our on-the-spot reactions. But for now, we're just going to kind of go through all the categories, and we're going to kind of preview them and give our predictions. I assume everybody's kind of watched a good bit of horror this past year to kind of give an educated guess.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of been shocking. I mean, really, 2022, I thought was an amazing year for horror movies. And it feels like we've kind of been growing a little bit each year and everything. And like, we're getting so many different and unique and interesting stuff. It's a very wild and fun time right now.
My 15-year-old son introduced me to Terrifier this year.
Wow.
Oh, fantastic.
And did wait a minute, did you talking about the first one or the second one or both?
Both. I watched the first one so that I could go to the theater with him to see the second one.
Wow.
I'm not the best parent.
Yeah.
Love
Hey, half of it is knowing who you are and, you
Yes.
know, what kind of goes on. Bruce knows his children, and frankly, they know him as well. Trust
We
me,
got
I've
an
been around the
understanding.
kids. They know. They just go like, "Oh, that's dad."
Yeah.
So yeah, like I actually got to watch quite a bit last year. So like I feel, you know, like I can give pretty good opinion on most of these. Some of them, admittedly, I haven't seen, and some of the categories flat out, like I haven't seen much of anything in certain categories, and we'll go through them one by one. But Donnie, what about you? Did you feel pretty comfortable with giving out some predictions on some of this? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there is going to be some. Well, I would say probably maybe about maybe I've seen about half of these movies. But yeah, I think I could spew out some predictions. We'll see.
And Smoke, you've probably seen every one of them twice, right?
Not quite, but I've seen quite a bit. But you know, it's. I can definitely predict some that even some of the ones I didn't see. I should hopefully be able to have some predictions in some of those categories that. Well, we'll see when we get into it. We'll see.
Yeah,
but I've probably seen about a little bit more than 50%, maybe.
I'm just happy like there's so many that I've seen this year, because sometimes there is a drought where you go through and like, while there might be some interesting stuff out there, maybe you haven't seen them, but we've had a lot of interesting stuff that has been like not only just cool indie stuff, but very wide, full release films and everything that have also just been very, very interesting. So yeah,
Whole lot out there.
And Fangoria threw a little bit of a curveball just today. They added, because I think they had 18 categories, and they added a 19th just today. And we'll get to that toward the end. We call that a tease in the biz. We'll get,
you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video to see this earth-shattering announcement.
See, the man has been on YouTube for a couple of years. Can you tell?
Yeah. And this one's going to be hard to call, because I feel pretty confident in saying that none of us have probably seen any of these movies.
I'm definitely not qualified to vote, but I'm going to.
No. I mean,
you're an American. That's exactly your job. You don't know anything about nothing, so you might as well just go ahead and vote on it.
That one reminds me of my third grade teacher. I'm voting.
Donnie, go ahead and throw up the first category, and we'll get going on it.
All right.
So right off the top, best wide release movie. Now that's obviously pretty much the biggest category, you could argue, right there. And the 5 nominees we have there are Barbarian, The Black Phone, Nope, Pearl, and X.
Man.
So What are we thinking? Who wants to start?
I will just say that I haven't seen Pearl yet. In fact, I thought about watching it a couple nights ago and didn't. But I've seen the other four. So
have you seen X?
I've seen X.
Yeah,
yes.
I would definitely recommend. Then you need to see Pearl for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised I didn't go see it like right off the bat, but I must have had something going on for a couple weeks. But out of these that are on here, I am going to go with X. So, maybe that gives you an idea of what I would think about Pearl. But I think out of these that I've seen, X is the one for me.
I've seen all 5, and I agree. That me personally, I think I'd go with X.
The others, X is the most complete movie in my opinion. Once again, I haven't seen Pearl, but the other 3 to me have some kind of flaw to them.
Yeah, I could see that.
This will come up again, obviously, because it's a lot of these movies are in multiple categories, but specifically Pearl, I think Mia Goth has a great performance. I mean, she's great in X. But she's way. It's a lot better. It's a bigger performance.
And
she's got more. She could shine more in Purple because she's got more, of course, more screen time. So.
Yeah, I don't know what the box office was like, but I would imagine X probably had more wide appeal because it's got It Girl, like current It Girl Jenna Ortega in it. Probably has more eyeballs on it.
Yeah, once again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think that one did pretty well.
Yeah. She's pretty famous, She's pretty popular right now.
I'm going to go the opposite direction of you guys, and I'm going to say Pearl wins this one.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm leaning towards what I was going to say the same thing. I'm kind of leaning towards Pearl myself.
As someone who hasn't seen Pearl, does it stand on its own? Because X stands pretty well on its own. If there was no Pearl, I think you could still enjoy X. I don't know if it goes the same
100%.
The other way.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You don't need that. And I don't think you're going to necessarily need the sequel that's coming up, the Maxine with the Triple X Maxine, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might triple feature them all like on a weekend or something when they're all out and available.
Yeah, at least as far as those 2 are concerned, absolutely. I think they both stand alone. You don't need to have seen X to enjoy Pearl. Although it does, maybe it does add a little layer to it, but you don't have to have seen it, either way, right? So, yeah, I think it stands. I think a lot of people were really high on Barbarian this past year.
That's honestly when I submitted my vote, I voted Barbarian just because I liked Pearl and X. I liked all of these movies. Maybe Black Phone probably the least of which, but I didn't hate it by any stretch of the imagination. But Barbarian was one where I knew what the poster looked like because I was working in a movie theater that time. I knew what the poster and I knew 2 of the stars of the movie, and that was it. And I didn't even really remember those stars were in that movie, to be quite honest, because when it started, I was just like, I have no clue what this is. And you think for a second, oh, I think I know what this is. But by the end of it, I was going like, I don't know where this is going or where they're going to end up with it. And to me, I was like, that's when I'm excited in a horror movie, especially, is because it works on a very formulaic kind of method and everything. And this, when you go, I don't know where things are going, to me, that's what's super exciting. And that's why Barbarian got my vote this round, because I didn't know where the next turn was going to be. And by the end, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen it, you're like, what?
Yeah, I wonder if it's a little too
started.
I wonder if it's a little too WTF for some people.
Maybe.
That's what I consider the flaw on Barbarian, probably. I said that all the rest had a flaw.
Right, absolutely. Nope was a lot like that too. Like, as far as you think you know what this movie is.
Yes.
And then it, I'm not going to say it's a huge plot twist or anything like that, but it's not quite what you think it is from the trailers.
Nope is the only one of these I went to see on the big screen, so maybe I had a little disappointment because it was the one that really motivated me to go to the theater. And it was a good movie and it looked good, but it's more sci-fi than horror, and I was in the mood for more horror.
And I will say this about Nope. Nope has actually grown on me substantially. I liked it when I saw it first, but Nope has done, and people might not think about it like this, Nope has done for the sky what Jaws did for the water. You know what I mean? Because when Jaws came out,
that's a bold statement there.
I'm afraid to fly a kite now.
No, here's the thing, though. I promise you, I drive an hour to and from work most days, and I look at the sky and clouds differently now on account of that movie. I do. And like that's something I'd never thought of before. But now you look at the clouds and you're like, there could be a spaceship behind that thing. Yeah. Like, that's a cool idea that this movie has now implanted in my head, to where I'm driving, I see a cloud, I'm just like, well, there could be a spaceship.
Hey, I love anything that can inspire that childlike wonder in
that's
you,
to me, that's that's fun, and that tells me that the movie had something going on.
If I have any knocks on Nope, it was that like it was probably a bit too long, and there was some stuff in there that didn't feel like it belonged in there, like all the stuff with the monkey.
Oh, I love that. Again,
felt
that's another one that, like, the more I see it, the more that monkey stuff grows on me. So good.
The whole thing with the monkey felt like one of those standalone episodes of Atlanta. Like it felt like this was part of a TV show rather than a movie almost.
Yeah. Well, so what are we? I guess consensus kind of we're going with Pearl and X.
Yeah, I think Pearl will probably win though. Like, while my vote may be Barbarian, I think people will be voting for Pearl.
I say, is this fan chosen?
Yeah, all this is like the voting.
I'm going to say X. I think Jenna Ortega gets X a few votes from kids who maybe don't watch a lot of horror, but they know who she is.
I could see
All right, Donnie, move on to the next category. We'll find out, in the next couple months what wins. The next one is Best Limited Release Movie. And the nominees are Orphan, First Kill, Resurrection, Something in the Dirt, Terrifier 2, and Mad God. I'm just going to say Terrifier 2 is going to take this thing, right?
Man, but what a two-horse race here. Mad God is pretty stinking awesome for animation, man.
Oh,
this is a nice category with those two. Now, can I throw some shade? Who makes a prequel to a movie where a 20-year-old was playing a kid 15 years later? I mean, who makes Orphan First Kill and thinks they can pull that off?
Bro, I tried to watch like the first 15, 20 minutes because like I love the first movie so much, and I was just like, okay, let's see if we can, and it was just far too distracting. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
You got to recast, right?
Or just don't do it.
Just don't make Orphan First Kill. I choose not to live in a world with no Orphan First Kill. I just don't want to live in a world where this is our Orphan First Kill.
Yeah, just let me. Yeah, you should have either done it immediately afterward and cashed in on all the goodwill that the first movie had and everything. But this CGI mess is no good.
Let me grow Silas's hair out, put him in some ponytails. He'd make a good little Orphan First Kill. He's the right age for that, but not this 30-year-old lady.
He'd do it though. He'd like it.
He would crush it.
He would.
Smoke, what do you think of this category?
I've only seen two. Well, actually, I've only seen one full all the way through. Mad God, I didn't finish yet. And I'll get back to it. I agree the animation is excellent on there. I mean, it was Phil Tippett, so. But I think Terrifier 2 will take it. That's the only one I've seen, and I saw that in the theater twice, actually.
I actually did not see Orphan First Kill. That holds no interest for me. And Something in the Dirt. I didn't see that, but I did see the other three. So
yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm not as informed on this one, but I don't think it matters. I think Terrifier 2 is gonna.
Yeah, I didn't see Terrifier 2. I tried to watch Mad God, but honestly, I'm when I started to watch it, this is where I got to complain on Shudder a little bit, and maybe the gods of Shudder will hear this. It looked like garbage. I couldn't watch it. It was it looked terrible. The bit rate was just awful. Everything looked blocky, and I'm like, if this was on Blu-ray, I'd watch it in a second, especially on a 4K. It would look amazing because everything is so dark and muddy and grungy in that thing. And if you've got if your bandwidth's not kicking and they're not pushing out a super high quality signal, it looks like garbage. It made me quite angry, so I stopped watching it.
You got Spectrum Internet?
Don't go there. Don't go there.
We just freeze up and just go away. I think they did release Mad God on there is a physical release of that.
I probably need to pick that up because I mean, and honestly, speaking of Mad, this is one that he's been trying to get off the ground for 40 years or something like that. And went down.
I always say 80 years. Friend of mine saw it on the big screen at the Alamo Draft House and said it was beautiful.
Nice.
That would be an amazing way to see that because it looks like it's just such a striking visual thing that's what made me so mad that I'm like, I'm not going to watch this very visual movie in this absolutely subpar quality. Not going to do it.
I just think that from what I remember, I don't remember all the categories that we're about to go through, every nominee. But I don't remember seeing Terrifier 2 a lot on here, so I just think that it's going to take something for as big.
It's a phenomenon. It's got to.
For as big as it was last year.
I'll put it this way: if Terrifier 2 doesn't win a Fangoria Chainsaw Award, it's not going to win any awards.
Oh, yeah, of course not. This is its only chance.
It totally got ignored by the BAFTA awards or whatever.
Unless
What if the Oscars in the 11th hour do like the Chainsaw Awards did and add one more category?
Unless it wins. What was that category, Donnie, for Hellraiser Inferno that we just on the?
Oh Jesus!
It won
was a
DVD best.
It was
DVD.
the DVD menu awards or something.
I love it. Oh, I love it. That's what I live for. DVD menu award.
I would have voted on that one, boy. I'll tell you that.
It's like people who win a Grammy and you say, "What did you win the Grammy for?" And it was for writing liner notes. That's the worst Grammy imaginable.
All we saw was that this thing had won an award and was nominated for 2 others. And I'm like, what award show was this? And it was like the 2001 DVD awards or some shit.
Yeah, DVD menu awards or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
You plop that
The
right
only-
on the cover.
The only award less prestigious than a Razzie.
All right, go on to the next. So I guess we're gonna say Terrifier 2 there. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, consensus, I would say.
yeah, it's kind of hard to lose on that one.
All right, so this one we've got best streaming premiere movie, and the nominees are Fresh, Hellbender, Hellraiser, Prey, and A Wounded Fawn. So what do we?
Can I go ahead and go first here?
Go ahead.
I think, and I'm wrong a lot, but I think Prey wins this if it's a fan vote because there are people that.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think that wins it on a fan vote. The one on here though that I found most interesting was Hellbender because it was just like a family affair, like father, mother, 2 daughters, and just a couple of like family friends and cousins go off and they make this movie that gets purchased by Shudder and gets a nice world premiere and stuff. So I just love the story behind Hellbender. The movie's not bad, but it's probably not award winning. I just love the story behind it. But I think Prey cleans up on this one.
Smoke, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think Prey is going to take this one. And that I'm saying that, like I said, some of these categories I haven't seen a whole lot, and actually I've only seen 2 in this one, which was Prey and A Wounded Fawn. But I still think Prey is going to take it.
Yeah, we actually. This is the first one I think has popped up that we actually did on the Spookshow podcast. That was back in episode 123. We did Prey, and we all enjoyed that one. Smoke, I think you enjoyed it a little less rating wise, but consensus wise, it still came out on our scale to a 3.4 stars out of 5. So we all enjoyed Prey, and we highly recommended that one. But I have not. The only one here that I didn't see was Fresh, and I think that was like a Hulu movie or something, right? I think.
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen that one, but I did see all the other ones, and I like certain things about all of them, but I think Prey is the best one here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't really have much here. It's I've only seen Hellbender and Prey, but if I had to choose, I guess go with the consensus.
I did see the new Hellraiser, and I didn't. I mean, it's fine. I mean.
So it's like every other Hellraiser movie. You're just
like, we're actually still going through the Hellraiser series bit by bit here. We just watched Hellraiser Inferno, and I'll say this: it's better than that.
Hey, just look at it this way: it starts as a movie about torture, and it ends up just being torture.
Yeah. So there's that.
Pretty good.
I've only seen Prey, so that's got my. And honestly, it's one of those that had better than it had any right to be. Like there was every reason that Prey was going to be terrible, and it turns out it was actually really decent. But they did the smart thing by hiring a decent director who kind of was in love with the property beforehand, but would be able to take a new and fresh take on it that kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's going to revitalize that whole series. I
think some of that with Prey might have been that there was hype because everybody knew it was connected to Predator and all that type of stuff, right? But it was kind of low key. It was put out by Hulu, not in theaters, so like it kind of snuck in the back door. I'm sure now they're like, damn it, we should have released that in theaters.
Oh, I'm sure they're mad about it now.
Yeah. But beforehand, you're just kind of like, all right, well, you check it out when you check it out kind of thing. And I think it kind of got a little bit of a not cult following, but kind of a underground following, kind of like, oh, you need to see this. This was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's one that all of a sudden, like even real world walking around, everybody was just like, no, believe me, this is good. Like you people were reassuring people that like, no, you might think a Predator sequel is a bad idea, but no, this is really great. Check it out.
Yeah. So I think we all kind of agree that Prey will probably take this one. So moving on to the next one there, Donnie.
All right, best international movie. The nominees are Hatching, The Innocents, Piggy, Salome, I guess, and Speak No Evil. I have no idea here. I haven't seen any of these.
I have actually seen. Did I watch Piggy? Wait a minute, let me think. Yeah, I did. No, I did not see Piggy. I didn't see Piggy, but I've seen all the other ones.
Wow, you really are checking out the international films there.
I went out of my way this past year to watch as many horror movies as I possibly could. So I've watched.
And you still didn't see Piggy?
Yeah, well, that was just because it was harder to find when I was looking around for it.
Is Piggy like based on Roblox or something? Like there's a Piggy game on Roblox that's kind of a horror game.
I don't think that's what this is.
I've never seen Piggy. I don't know.
I will say which one I think is the worst on this list, and that's Hatching.
Well, I heard you talk about that one, I think, on Spookshow End of the Year, talking about the giant egg.
No, don't watch it. No. The Innocence was really good, but I think here, the one that stuck with me the most was Speak No Evil. That movie is messed up. Like, and it's more of like just for the last, say, 20 minutes of the movie.
Do you recall the country of origin on that one?
No. Oh God. No, not all.
I'm sorry.
It ends in a vowel.
Yeah. It's maybe Swedish or something like that. You know, it's like
it's European.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, like
it's Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whenever you sit down and watch this, like for the first 45 minutes to an hour, you're kind of like, all right, well, it's just, it's just these families taking vacation together.
Yeah.
But then, Jesus, that last 20 minutes are brutal, and it really
you're selling it pretty well.
There's some evil that you must not speak of. I guess.
Yeah. No. It stuck with me, man. I'm telling you, like, especially if you've got kids. And
yeah.
It's one of those ones that really haunt you for a couple of days afterwards. So yeah.
Well, I think the Roblox gang will get Piggy to win this one.
Here's the thing, like I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about Piggy. That's the only one of these that I know from name, reputation, and stuff. So like I've heard good things about it. That's all I know. I'm
gonna say for me, if it were up to me, because I think I actually did vote for it, I'd say Speak No Evil, but I think The Innocents will win this.
You know what? I take that back. I thought I didn't see any of those, but I do remember The Innocents.
Yeah, with the kids.
That's the only one I've seen, so I can't really. I'm gonna.
A lot of these. I'm just now coming to the conclusion. At least 3 of these are involving kids. Hatching, The Innocents, and Speak No Evil.
I'm going to cast a write-in vote for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. We'll see if that gets any write-in vote.
Smoke, what about you? Any opinions on any of these? I don't remember if you've watched any of these.
The Hatching will probably take. No, I'm kidding. I haven't seen any of these. I was just going by your review of The Hatching. So, no, yeah. I have not seen any of these, and I'm usually pretty, up on the foreign horror, but I haven't seen any of these yet, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think The Innocents will take it, but we'll see. Going to the next one there, Donnie.
All right, best first feature nominees are Blood Relatives, Deadstream, The Sadness, Watcher, and We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Now, when they say best first feature, are they talking about director?
Yeah,
first,
I think so,
yeah, first director.
First feature film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feature film directorial debut. Right?
Oh boy, guys. Who wants to quickly tell me everything about all these movies?
I have seen Watcher, The Sadness, and Deadstream. I have not seen Blood Relatives, and We're All Going to the World's Fair. Oh, that's an awesome title.
I remember Deadstream. Yeah, I remember now because it took me a minute to catch on to what they were going for with the title.
Watcher is, it's all right. Deadstream is awesome. I really enjoyed it, but I think The Sadness is going to take this because that movie is fucked up.
Boy, just the name The Sadness makes me know I'm going to probably steer away.
That was one I heard of from Reputation. I don't know anything about it, but everybody's just saying like that one. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's
no, I can't do it.
It's right there with Terrifier 2, if not slightly worse.
Oh, maybe I'm interested then.
He's
I
like,
expected it to just be sad.
the plot is turned.
It's a
Expected
different.
it to just all be sadness.
I was just talking about Speak No Evil. Like Speak No Evil is one of those like, oh man, what the hell? Why kind of things, and it kind of sticks with you, right? This one is just like wall to wall gore.
Ah, I got to check it out then.
But I think that the sticking point of this one is, unlike Terrifier 2, which was fun, sadness is lives up to its name. It's more grim.
The last time I was this excited to watch something, it was Necromantic.
And I believe, it's on Shudder. The sadness, I believe it's still there. If I'm not mistaken.
Man, it might be my next bad decision this weekend.
Yeah. Well, this close to Necromantic, I don't know, man. You might want to hold off for another week.
Okay.
But it's
Like after watching Necromantic, you want to cleanse the palate, the visual palate, with the sadness. It's a good, good choice.
I thought
good luck.
Wizard of Oz or something like that. No,
I see it followed up with Ghoulies.
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I say the sadness, but yeah, without seeing Blood Relatives or We're All Going to the World's Fair, I'd say it's either the sadness or Deadstream. But
I think of this a lot of like, what have most people seen, and I think the sadness is probably the one of these that more people has seen on account of like Shudder and stuff.
You're probably right. And Deadstream I think was on Shudder too, and
yeah,
maybe
Deadstream I feel like got a little attention.
Yeah, but yeah, probably the sadness. All right, Donnie, we'll go ahead and go on to the next one there.
All right, best lead performance. I'm gonna fuck these names up.
Can I say I like this though? I like throwing everybody into the same
yes.
category here and all that kind of stuff.
I think this is the future. You get two winners. This is the future.
Yeah, plus it makes it easier too. Like you don't have to separate. You don't have to discuss two separate categories and everything. You just got
it's actor. You're all actors. That's what these all are. Male or female. They're all actors.
Oh man, the men have to be in their own category because the testicles weigh us down, and we just can't show as much facial expression as the women. So,
I mean, like, Donnie, you want to run through them, or?
Yeah, Anna Diop from Nanny, Amber Midthunder from Prey, Isabel Furman from Orphan First Kill, Maika Monroe from Watcher, Mia Goth from Pearl, Kiki Palmer from Nope, Rebecca Hall from Resurrection, Josh Rubin from A Wounded Fawn, Daniel Kaluuya, fuck it, from Nope.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Taylor Russell, Bones and All.
I'm going to end all debate. It's Mia Goth.
Yeah, she deserves
I don't think anyone's going to argue, but I will say this. This is really, if you look, save for like maybe two movies that I haven't seen, this is an amazingly strong category. There is a lot of really good, varying, different performances all around here, and they all like have little bits that I really, really like about them. But Mia Goth's running away with this thing. Let's be honest.
And I'm picturing Anna Diop doing like a Fran Drescher accent in that movie, and I just can't buy into it. I haven't seen the movie, but that's what I'm imagining.
And I've seen some people try to argue this, and not that I don't think there is should be a major argument with it, but Mia Goth was so good in Pearl that like there were a lot of people saying she should have been nominated for an Oscar.
She 1000% should have, and if that movie was not a horror film, she would have gotten an award, or at least a nomination. The fact that she wasn't even nominated is absolute garbage.
Rebecca Hall was really good in Resurrection as well. The movie was fine. It is what it is.
And I really like just in general Daniel Kaluuya as an actor. But
yeah, he was good in it. He was really good in that.
Yeah.
And Amber Midthunder in Prey, she did an excellent job too.
Everybody.
Yeah, I love so many of these, but I think Mia Goth's going to win, even though I haven't seen Pearl. Just I just feel like that's hers.
Yeah, honestly, it's like her monologue in it alone is what just made you go like, all right, well, like and me, I just go, you've got to have at least a nomination, an Academy Award nomination, on account of that monologue. 100%. And the fact that it didn't happen is kind of gross, and just really shows you how stupid the Oscars truly are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke, that's why I prefer my Fangoria and my DVD menu awards.
No, I agree. I think Pearl's Mia Goth for Pearl's gonna category hands down.
Yeah. It's almost unfortunate for some of the other ones because like there were some of these were really good, but like
Oh yeah.
she's gonna roll over them, I think.
Keke Palmer's one of those people when she's just on screen, you can't not just look at her. She's number one, she's gorgeous looking, but she's got this personality that you can't not look at what she's doing. And she's great in that movie. And like, she really plays well off Kaluuya. And we'll talk about a couple other things later with that movie, technical wise and stuff. But I guess again, that was one of those movies that kept growing on me. And I bought it on 4K and everything. So tell you something.
Donnie, go ahead and what's the next one?
All right, best supporting performance. We've got Jamie Clayton from Hellraiser, Mark Rylance from Bones and All, Ethan Hawke from The Black Phone, Rachel Sennett from Bodies, 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 Justin Long from Barbarian, Brittany Snow from X, Madeline McGraw from The Black Phone, Kristen Stewart, Crimes of the Future, Jenny Ortega, Scream, and Stephen Yeun from Nope.
This was a tough one.
This is it's a little.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you who I think should win is either Ethan Hawke or Stephen Yeun.
Mm-hmm.
But who I think is going to win is Jenna Ortega because TikTok.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Jenna Ortega is probably going to win this, even though like she's in Scream for 5 seconds.
And also, I would nominate her for her performance. I would nominate her for her performance in X ahead of Scream too.
Oh,
because this is a supporting performance. She's almost the lead in Scream.
The funny thing is they could have technically probably nominated Mia Goth for X for this category because
I never even thought of that. She could be in both categories.
Yeah, she could have been, and
she could have won both too because she's no spoilers, but dual roles. I guess that's a spoiler, isn't it?
It's funny too that Jenna Ortega gets it for Scream, but meanwhile she was probably better in X.
Or she's going to get voted for because how good she was in Wednesday, but fans don't always vote based on the performance that's nominated. They just vote on the actor.
I want to say when I voted, I think I voted for Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me between Ethan Hawke and Stephen Yeun. And Stephen Yeun, I just like it because that is so weird that Jordan Peele put that whole monkey sitcom thing in there that it's like I don't remember, like I'll forget every other part of Nope, but I'll remember his part.
That's who I voted for. I loved his performance. I think it's one of the best bits of acting that he's done in his career yet. I just thought he was a lot of fun with it. He knew exactly who that character was and really leaned into it and everything. And like I said, I think it's one of his better acting performances. So that's who got my vote.
Donnie, what are you leaning towards?
Man, it's tough. I'm gonna say. I mean, she's hot right now, so Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's gonna win on a popularity account for sure. I don't think that there's almost any stopping that at this point. It seems inevitable, doesn't it?
I don't mean to imply that she's not a good actor either. I just think she's going to win because she's popular.
Yeah. That's the popularity.
Yeah, that's basically what you're.
And that is an interesting angle when you're talking about these Fangoria Chainsaw Awards because it truly is something that the people vote for versus say the Oscars where it's just some stuffy people in a boardroom somewhere picking these things however they go about it. So like. You have to factor that popularity thing in. Whereas over there, you don't really do that. You focus more on, not that you don't focus on the performance here, but that is not one of their choosing factors, right? So on this, it's absolutely a major factor. Like you've got, well, here's who I think should win, but here's who will probably win because they're popular. So that
because I'm not stupid, I know how voting works.
Yeah.
If Kristen Stewart wins, do you think she accepts the award in person?
Probably not.
No.
Although I do think like they don't really, unless they do it differently this year. The last couple of years, they do like the bit where like they just kind of ship the award to the person, then they have like a pre-recorded kind of snippet thing. So like they don't really have
my award. The do.
Yeah, they don't really have an award ceremony. I think like they used to.
Hey, I say this year, the pandemic, we have a different approach to it now. So rent out the nights at Columbus Hall Fangoria and invite Kristen Stewart.
See, she'll come. It'd be hilarious if she showed.
Yeah.
She put like the camera goes to her. She's just rubbing her hands together, just like, oh shit.
Smoke. Did
The
you
only people that show up are Kristen Stewart and the clown from the Terrifier.
They're sitting at the same
Art the
table.
Clown.
that dude would definitely be there.
Oh
But-
yeah. Yeah.
Anybody in particular, Smoke, you're thinking might take this?
Oh, for that category, like I said, I would say the popularity vote's going to get it, but for me, I kind of agree with Adam that Stephen Yeun should take it. I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will.
But Donnie, go ahead.
I mean,
and,
it's it.
I don't think we really have a consensus here, but
No.
move on to the next one. I mean, I think we're all kind of
call Jenny Ortega.
yeah. That the popularity might rule there. So what do we got
All
here?
right. So best director, Zach Kreger from Barbarian, David Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future, Chloe Okuno, Watcher, Jordan Peele, Nope, and Ty West for X. I think it's Ty West.
I think he should get it just for X and Pearl. Just go ahead and lump them both together and give it to him.
I think we should take David Cronenberg's name out of the contention here on account of that movie.
I haven't seen that movie. I haven't heard
Is
like a
is
lot
that
of
the junior Cronenberg?
No, that's senior.
No, that's senior.
That's
Okay,
your
so
old
he's
man.
not the one that did the Infinite Pool you were telling me.
Yeah,
about.
no, Infinity Pool, like, and I didn't know it was
Brandon.
directed by Brandon Cronenberg. But but watching it, I was just going like, man, David Cronenberg's gonna be pissed. Somebody's ripping all of his stuff off, and then his name comes up at the end. I go, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. I feel like he's grown to the point where he's doing the cool and interesting, weird crap that Dad did, and Dad's stuff, while it's still kind of a lot of the same and stuff. Crimes of the Future to me just felt like such a sci-fi wank fest, and it's like, okay, Cronenberg, I get it. You like weird sex stuff. What next? Do you have anything of substance in there
who
for me?
doesn't?
Do you think it's possible his name is here because it's David Cronenberg?
Yeah,
Oh,
again, this
yeah,
is. I think
yeah.
that this feels like the Hollywood International Foreign Press, where they just go and well, we need to make sure Johnny Depp is nominated, even though it's a piece of crap movie. But Johnny Depp will show up and sit in the audience. That's what it feels like, even though David Cronenberg, there's, like you said, more than likely there's no dining hall, no Knights of Columbus place where we can set up the table for David Cronenberg and the Terrifier.
Oh, he went to the Elks by mistake.
Son of a.
So I think it's pretty safe. Like we all kind of agree, it's probably Ty West, just based on all of our enjoyment of X and Pearl, right? So,
And I'd
Yeah.
say there's an outside chance for Jordan Peele on name recognition.
That's
And
true. That's true. That's your dark horse there. Just horse because he's it was in Nope and there was a horse. But there's
I like that.
But Ty West is probably going to win just on account of like the people that are voting for the Fangoria Awards would probably lean a little more Ty West than Jordan Peele, but Jordan Peele may come out in that, like I said, dark horse one where it's just like, ooh, he slid right underneath because he was the one that everybody wasn't looking at and they were just thinking Ty West.
yeah.
And Cronenberg will come in third in the voting just from people who are like, I don't know any of these names other than Cronenberg.
Correct.
So there'll be a few like Gen X voters.
Mhm.
I didn't watch or like Crimes of the Future. People would still vote for him just because it's him. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one, Donnie?
All right, so we got best screenplay. C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson for The Black Phone, Zach Kreger for Barbarian, Mia Goth and Ty West for Pearl, Jordan Peele for Nope, and Seth Rice and Will Tracy for The Menu.
You know,
I want to go ahead and take The Menu off the menu because no, that I'm sorry, that is a screenplay that thinks a little too much of itself, in my opinion, just like that movie.
I like the way you put that. I haven't seen the movie, but I like your description.
I didn't realize, and I guess I just wasn't paying attention when I watched Pearl, that Mia Goth had a screenplay that she wrote it with Ty West. That she had a screenplay.
Yeah, they were kind of tooling around and stuff, just figuring things out and how, like, there's a whole big. I have a Fangoria copy that's got all the information in it, and the other films and stuff where they kind of, just brainstorm that idea and everything together, and enough so that she's getting, credit on that as well.
I could see them winning for Pearl. I could see Zach Kreger possibly getting this for Barbarian because he's, he's not really winning any of the other ones probably. So maybe they throw him a bone here, maybe, or Jordan Peele for the same reasons we just said about Best Director. I could see any of those three.
Well, the only nominee I've ever interacted with on Twitter is C. Robert Cargill, so I hope he gets some votes.
Yeah, I've met him, and he's a very nice guy and very personable. So, but I take that off the table. But I think Mia Goth and Ty West will probably win this one more than likely. But I think I think overall it's, like I said, save for the menu, which I think is tripe. It's a good category. But I think the Black Phone's probably the least of Cargill and Derrickson's work together. It's not bad, but it's not as good as the other stuff.
The funny thing is, overall, I think the Black Phone, in maybe some other years, would be winning some of these things.
But you're like 8 years ago, something like that. That would have been banging.
Yeah. I'll say that the Black Phone, the movie's based on a short story, and I felt like I could tell it was based on a short story. It felt like it wore a little thin for movie length.
It was Joe Hill, right, that wrote that.
Yeah, Joe Hill.
That's what it felt like. It definitely felt like a Stephen King, movie adaptation.
Yeah.
In a good way. Not one of the bad ones. many.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go a different way. I'm going to say Seth Rice and Will Tracy. And I know Adam pretty much hates the
that movie. It insists upon itself.
Yeah.
I prefer the movie pit.
As pretentious as it is, I think
there's a chance a lot of people would like look at that and go, and I'm sure we'll go like, oh, amazingly well written. And there's a reason that artsy fartsy people especially will take checks on that one, just because it's like, oh yes, that is very much what we are of that whatever.
I enjoyed the menu, but like even just taking all 5 of these movies into account, I had it a notch below these movies.
No,
my own personal ratings.
Yeah.
So you find gentlemen who've seen the menu, do you consider it horror?
It skirts it. I was sold a bill of goods, ladies and gentlemen. I was sold a bill of goods. I was told, oh my God, this movie, like it starts here and then it takes this turn. And I'm like, oh shit, some turns. Let's have some turns, baby. And I'm like, these were your turns. This is what you got for me. So thank you.
Thriller than it is horror.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Smoke, have you seen?
There could be some moments that would like be cool, but they're just not there.
Smoke, did you watch the menu? I don't remember if you did or not.
I did see the menu. I agree though. It's definitely below these other movies on the list, and like you said, it's not really. It's more thriller, but then Jordan Peele's Nope is also more sci-fi than horror. But
yeah,
that's fair.
True. All right.
But as far as who I think is going to take it, I kind of, or who I kind of want to take it, I guess maybe is, I don't know. Like Adam was saying about Barbarian, it takes a lot of turns and things without giving any sort of, anything away of the movie. It goes a lot of places you don't expect it to,
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Like they might throw the bone to Zach Kreger on this one because it was different, But that's not to take anything away from the other ones, though. I mean, they were all unique in ways for sure. So, what's the next one there, Donnie?
All right, best cinematography. Oh, fuck. All right.
I don't see that on here. What are you reading?
Hold on. I think you mispronounced that first name, Donnie.
Yep. From Wounded Fawn, Rob Hardy for Men, Elliot Rocket twice for Pearl and X, and Hoyt van Hoytema from Nope.
Okay. I think it's interesting that Elliot Rocket got nominated twice because of all the benefits that those movies bring. They almost pride themselves on like lo-fi cinematography, right? Or at least Pearl does. I mean, X does. I haven't seen Pearl.
They're wildly different, and that's really the kind of cool part about them, because X is like your 70s, looks like it's a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre adjacent and whatnot, whereas Pearl is this kind of pseudo technicolor. It's all digital, both of them, but it's all like they've done just a fantastic job. I feel like it's a little bit more in post than it is within camera itself, so that's why I have to pump the brakes a little bit with this on as far as cinematography goes, even though I think both of those movies do look very good. I'm going with Hoyt on this one, just on account of like, number one, that's who that man is. He's got a hell of a pedigree behind him. And they did something with Nope that I don't think a lot of people know, is they did a completely new, different type of day for night shooting for all of the night stuff in this movie. All of that stuff was shot during the
I didn't
day.
know
When
that.
it's done. They did like there's some weird infrared camera type, some crazy stuff I ain't never heard of before. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of amazing. So
I'm just going to be honest. And for me with Nope, I was much more impressed with the cinematography than the story, but I'm also biased. It's the one I saw on the big screen. So I probably had the best overall visual experience, but I'm still agreeing with Adam on the vote. Even though I really wanted to vote for Kasusha, I'm going to vote for Hoyt.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's him. That movie was epic, in scope, like in just the way it looked, the way it was shot and everything.
Just opening up those IMAX cameras, just so good. The fidelity is fantastic. Again, that was one of the reasons why I bought the 4K. It was because it looks so damn good.
Not just any cinematographer can make Adam scared of clouds.
Yeah, I'm scared of clouds now, damn it. I don't like it.
You used to be scared of clowns. You went from clowns to clouds.
Anything with a C in it, I don't care for. Carrots.
Well, the original title was Cloud Jaws.
Oh,
so.
God.
All right, go ahead to the next one there, Donnie.
All right, so best score, Michael Abels from Nope, Jeff Barrow and Ben Salisbury for Men, Tyler Bates and Tim Williams for Pearl, John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies for Halloween Ends, and Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Bones and All.
Does John Carpenter take this because it's John Carpenter? Or
I think he wins. I think
here's okay. All right, I
don't think he's necessarily the deserved winner. I think he wins.
You may be right, but you may be wrong, as Billy Joel has once told us. Because dig this,
just might be a lunatic you're looking for.
Because that now, while I agree, the John Carpenter name gets a lot of people ticking that vote. However, a lot of people didn't like that movie.
No.
A lot of people didn't like that movie, and I think that a lot of people are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to show you how much I did not like that movie and not vote for that.
And we actually did that the week after it came out. We did the movie on the podcast, and specifically Donnie and Smoke really did not like that movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot less than Willie and I did. So
I liked it for what it was, and I know what it was, and kind of, and again, I have a little bit of behind the scenes knowledge of stuff, but it was fine. I don't hold the Halloween series in sacrosanct like so many people do. I think you've got one really good movie and some, and bits of pieces of other good movies throughout all the sequels, but I'd say Halloween is really the only true good movie of those. But when this new crop of 3 showed up, or at least with the first one and even the second one, I enjoyed those because it just felt like, kind of a rebirth of this thing. But the third one was hilariously a lot like Halloween 3, and that's kind of what they were going for. They were finished with the story after 2, and they were like, we don't have another one. They were like, please do another one. We'd like to give you more money. And they were like, we'll take some money, fine. And so they put together something that was very essentially like Halloween 3, in as much as it really had jack all to do with, Michael Myers and everything. They it had Michael Myers in the middle. They handed it back, and they were like, what the hell is this did you give us? And they were like, go back out there, shoot some Michael Myers stuff and put it in this and make this movie good. So they went out and did that, and that's what we got at the end. So it's so much like Halloween 3 that, like, I don't know, but for whatever reason, people love Halloween 3 but hate that movie. And I keep telling people it's the same bloody idea. Stop getting mad.
Donnie, I gotta ask you. I'm sorry.
I said, well, before you continue, I said then when we watched it, and I'll say it now, I still believe that movie will have better legs years from now than it does right now. I think one day, like you said, they'll look at it kind of like Halloween 3, and they'll appreciate it more one of these days.
I like what that kid is doing. I like his acting in it. I like the turn that, like, it's that very Joker, one bad day kind of thing. I love that. I thought it was a really cool and interesting idea when after you watch that second movie, you go, that's it. They're out of it. They're out of ideas. They even basically admitted it themselves. We're out of ideas. And they said, please come back for a truckload of money. And they were like, okay, fine.
I totally lost all concentration on this category because, like, that thumbnail down at the bottom of the graphic looks like it's a picture from Dune.
That's Bones. I think so.
I have never seen Bones and All, but I've seen Dune, and I thought for a minute, like, was Dune nominated for Fangoria Awards? It's like 2 years old.
Right, looked like a picture of Ronnie Wood. I didn't know what the hell.
It's Ronnie Wood and Zendaya.
I think it was Timothy Chalamet there. Is that not Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, but as far as like going back to the score here, I mean, like that's the thing too. Like, do you give it to Carpenter because it's Carpenter, or like because I don't really remember them doing anything groundbreaking here, right? It was just
It's the same damn thing. That's my vote's for Tyler Bates.
Yeah, the exact same Halloween theme that we've always heard. So how could it not win?
I mean, there might have been some tweak that they did or something, but I don't remember anything groundbreaking.
They added a banjo in the final chord.
Tyler Bates has my vote on this for Pearl. Just as far as music goes, I like it. Of these, yeah.
Smoke, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Tyler Bates for Pearl. Well, I agree that that's who should win it. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe name recognition. I don't know. Even though I and a lot of other fans didn't like the Halloween Ends movie that well, it still might go to John Carpenter. And I mean, hey, he's got his son Cody Carpenter, right? They've been touring together. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to see him. I would see that concert, but I didn't get to see it. But I don't know. I don't know how this one's going to go. But
I know this is a Fangoria crowd, but it just dawned on me that Trent Reznor is on here too. So if you're just going on pure
and Atticus Ross, I mean, they're a good team.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like you can't discount them either just because of who they are as well, right?
I mean, some of the last records I bought were from those guys when they put out all the Watchmen soundtrack on vinyl. I was like,
oh yeah, I was gonna say, I remember when you bought that. That was crazy expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
well,
huge.
no, it wasn't that. It was just very limited. So if you didn't get it quick, they were super gone. But on that first one, you really don't want to play that in front of mixed company because there's a part on it. You remember when they had that gang that just all said all the really racist stuff in there? That's on the record. And you're like, why did you put this in here? I can't play this around people now because this is like this weird, almost KKK chants, and you're just like, I can't play this. What the hell?
You got clowned on by Trent Reznor.
No kidding.
Donnie, where do you land on this one?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, you mentioned Trent Reznor. Probably a dark horse here.
Yeah.
I hated Halloween Ends. Fucking hated it, but it's probably gonna fucking win.
Yeah, don't let your Halloween Ends hate hang out. Come on.
How long have the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards been around? You said you went to the first one. Do you remember what year it was?
Smoke, that's your...
Yeah, 1992 is when the first one was. And it was hosted by Bruce Campbell at the actual convention, though, Fangoria Weekend of Horrors in LA that year. So that was pretty amazing.
Shrunken Heads might have gotten this award that first year. Danny Elfman did the theme for Shrunken Heads in 92. So that's who I'm hoping wins in 92. I don't know who's going to win this year.
Well, that one already happened. So, we can go back and find out, I guess.
Time's a flat circle and all that.
My memory is a little hazy from 92.
If somebody goes and looks up who won, if somebody looks up who won best score for Chainsaw Fangoria Award 1992, and it actually is Shrunken Heads, they're going to think I'm as smart as smoke here. I just kind of guessed at something.
If that's right, then we owe you a coat.
Woo!
All right, Donnie, what's next?
All right, best costume design. Alex Bovaird from Nope. Stephanie Portnoy Porter from Prey.
That's a mouthful.
You ready? All right. Andrews, The Monsters. Crimes of the Future. And Pearl. I'm not even going to attempt.
Maybe it's like all the costume designers have weird... Either like
that's why they go into costume design.
Listen, I'm all for culture, But
wow, look at all those. That's crazy. You know what?
Alex Bovaird is the easiest name. Who would it? Well, no, probably Stephanie Portnoy Porter. Who expects that to be the easy name?
I'm gonna say Toth and Attila here for the Monsters.
Just for the name Toth and Attila.
Yeah, it sounds like two rejects from the Cantina and Star Wars.
That's a Star Wars character name for sure.
I was going to say I saw one of those Barbarian Brothers movies, and they were named Toth and Attila.
Oh man!
But I think costume.
It's a good crapster piece for you guys, man. Barbarian Brothers, the movie, or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
You knew he saw it. You knew he saw it.
Oh yeah. It's directed by the guy that did Cannibal Holocaust, if you can believe that.
I know, it's crazy.
Not only has he seen it, he probably has it on CED on that shelf back there. So.
I do have it on VHS, but not on this shelf. It's in the west wing of the professor's library.
West wing of the library.
Compound.
There's nothing we can bring up you don't have some trivia for there, Smoke.
I just think out of these nominees, though, I think the Monster stands out as far as his costume design. Say what you will about the movie itself, but
First of all, that's a movie that I surprisingly liked. I went in thinking it was going to be an absolute piece of garbage. I don't particularly care for the Munsters, nor do I care for Rob Zombie. So that should be like a recipe for disaster. But I thought it was probably the best thing that Rob Zombie's ever done. And yeah, costume wise, I'm fine with it. I just as long as Crimes of the Future and they're like 1999 Star Trek, whatever the hell's going on with that stuff, I'm kind of over it.
Seriously, the Munsters? That was like
I'm not saying
that was
good.
like I know that in this day and age there's no difference between a streaming movie and a movie that's theatrically released, but this is probably going to go down in history as the last made for TV special ever is the Munsters, because that looks like it was made for TBS to show on a Saturday afternoon in June.
It's one of the most competent things he's shot yet.
Okay, fair enough.
It's honestly,
it's like a toddler who can somehow draw the letter A gets way more credit than I do when I draw the letter A.
Well, he doesn't like an old English font. It's special.
He's a calligrapher, the little baby.
You just triggered. You were set on TBS on a Saturday in June or something. It just made me think of like during a Braves rain delay or something back then.
Yeah, they're showing the Munsters.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Del Murphy in just a minute. Now watch the Munsters.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, not to talk about deep into the movies themselves here, but like because we've talked about most of these here already. But like, I think as far as just the look, I think the Munsters was very unique for this category. So I think that's where I would go. But
Prey's got a good chance just on account of like it's the Predator
Prey
stuff.
wins.
So I think that's got. But then again, I mean, Pearl's a little throwbacky, but I think just on account of like because people more think of costumey type things with that, and maybe they think a little bit more makeup with Prey, perhaps. I don't know.
When I look at all these, I think if I would have fun playing dress up, I would have way more fun dressing up like the Comanches and Prey than probably any of these others. So I'm going to vote for Prey.
I figured you were more of a Grandpa Munster.
Well, that's just my normal evening wear. That's not dress up.
I mean, like, gotta have a special occasion.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Donnie, we'll go on to the next one there.
All right. So we got best makeup effects. We've got black spot effects, Crimes of the Future, Barbarian.
All those folks.
I'm sorry I didn't catch that last name.
That's a tough one.
Team Psy.
Yep. Barbarian. We've got Damien Leone for Terrifier 2, Hellraiser, and X.
I'm voting Damien Leone.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm throwing down my cards for Damien
And
Leone.
he puts his name so proudly on these Terrifier films that I'm convinced he's related to Sergio Leone. I don't know if he is or not, but it's like he puts it there like you should know who he is.
That is true. And it's just kind of like you know me, sucker. And it's just like from those little things from the internet. I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah, I think it will be him for Terrifier 2, although I think Barbarian.
I like Barbarian. I mean, listen, if I'm going to base my Terrifier 2 stuff on, let's just call it, if I take the idea of the of what I saw in Terrifier and double it, make it twice as good, that's what I'll go ahead and do. And I still think Barbarian would beat that out. So, like, haven't seen it, but doubling with how good it was in Terrifier, I'm going to say Barbarian still wins.
He has great makeup in Barbarian.
I would give more consideration to Hellraiser if I knew what was digital and what was real in that one. So yeah, I'd have to go more Terrifier 2 or Barbarian. What do you think, Smoke?
I think I'm thinking that it's going to be Terrifier 2. I think just on the recognition of the splatter effects in that movie.
Yeah. Now does that?
And by the way, I'm sorry if I'm like looking off.
No, you're fine.
My setup is weird. I'm looking at the screen, the big screen over here, so I'm just like, because otherwise I'm looking at my phone, which I can't see shit on. So,
Smoke, maybe you know a little better, like what might go into the decision making here on best makeup effects. What exactly would they be looking for here in this category?
Well, yeah, I mean, considering this is Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, and it's probably going to be made up primarily of people voting are to be, your hardcore horror fans, that's why I think that Terrifier 2 will take it more so. And not to diminish, Barbarian by any means, the makeup or the movie. But when it comes to a best makeup effects category, and it's primarily horror fans, that movie's kind of plays to the nostalgia, I guess, of 80s splatter movies. And it's got a big name recognition for the conventions. Damian Leone and most of the guys that are involved with making Terrifier 2 are always at the conventions. So, and I know a lot of people that are probably voting on this and are horror convention goers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely predict Terrifier 2 for this one, even if I do love. I mean, and that would be my choice as well. But Barbarian will be a close second.
All right, Donnie, what's the next category?
Yeah, all right.
Don't sound too excited about it.
Yeah. All right. So,
strangest name from a creator. That's the next category.
Right. Best creature effects. Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. for Prey. Hatching, VHS 99, Jurassic World Dominion, and Nope.
Now you need to go back and read the Hatching. Who was the best?
Gustav Hogan.
Gustav Hogan.
I know nothing. Hogan.
That's Hulk Hogan's cousin. Twice removed.
Gustav.
Let me tell you
His
something
Dutch
about
cousin.
this egg.
I love it.
Oh, best
Coming to you from Hollywood Beach, California, and the Netherlands, the Hogans.
brought to you by Coliseum Video.
Hogan and Huygen.
I'd say here, best creature effects, definitely not Hatching. I'd go Prey.
Are we going to be
Prey,
honest?
right?
We're not going to vote based on the story that was the best. We're not going to vote.
I'm trying not to, but Hatching.
Yeah, because I think it's hard to beat Jurassic World Dominion for creature effects, even though the movie was garbage.
What are the now? Granted, oddly enough, that is the only Jurassic Park I didn't see it in the theater. I can't even believe that myself. But like most of that's got to be CGI. Yeah, there can't be a hell of a lot of actual...
CGI, but I think the rest was practical.
The rest was real.
I think Prey, the Predator and Prey here has got to. That's the one thing that's that I'm thinking of, other than, like you said, the dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park movie, that really sets it apart. It sticks out here.
Did you guys see VHS 99?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I did, and I enjoyed it. I think that would be a fun one for people to vote for. I don't think it'll win, but I do like that creature. And it looks very practical.
What would make Nope nominated here? The monkey thing?
Well, the monkey
Stephen Ewan, they put him in a cowboy hat and he looked like a creature, I guess.
Or
I don't
just
know.
the thing in the clouds. Would that be the creature effect?
It's got to be the thing in the
I
clouds.
was trying to say, not to give away anything. I was trying to come up with a way to say
what thing?
that is.
Come on. What are you talking about? Just the clouds.
All you have to do is watch the trailer and all looking up in the sky. So there's something up there, all right?
It's that giant clown-faced spider that shows up in the third quarter. Yeah. I mean, the third act.
Gotta give them credit for Cloud Jaw. So,
no. Anyway, I'm voting for John Nolan. Is he related to the Nolan from the Batman movies?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Chris. I couldn't remember his name.
Quite a common surname.
Well,
I vote for Guillaume Rocheron.
Move on to the next one there, Donnie. I think we're
all right.
Hitting the bottom of the barrel on that one.
Yeah, best documentary, the found footage phenomenon, In Search of Darkness Part 3, Living with Chucky, Pennywise, The Story of It, and This Is Gwar.
I'll say, I've only seen This Is Gwar. Heck of a good movie.
I know I need to see that one, and I haven't. But
I can't believe you, of all people, have not seen that. My goodness.
And I can't believe it's not butter. I saw Pennywise. This is the only one that I've seen out of these, and that was really well done. I have to think that they'll give it to In Search of Darkness Part 3 as like the remember when Lord of the Rings, what was the third one? Return of the King.
Return of the King. Yeah.
It took like 85 Oscars because they were kind of catching up on all the other movies with that one.
They were like, listen, we'd have to give it to you for everything for 3 years straight because this is the greatest movie every single year for those 3 years. Yeah. So we're going to save it all up and give them all to you at one time at the end.
So I think that might get this In Search of Darkness Part 3 for that, because that's like an 85-hour documentary. If you put
goodness, that is huge.
Dude, for real, how long are those things? Like cumulative?
I think it's at least 5 or 6 hours, isn't it?
I've never seen any of these In Search of Darkness. What is the darkness they're searching for?
Basically, they go through all the 80s horror movies.
Oh, nice.
Like just literally like one by one, not necessarily chronological order, but like
I think I would love this. Oh, I got to check this out.
Like, I'm not even.
It is.
They're like 4, 5, 6 hours a piece.
Yeah, and they
Beautiful.
don't split them up either. It's just like all
wow.
one chunk. Like it's not like chapters or like episodes per se. You know, it's just 5 or 6
Just
hours.
like come
straight.
back to this 4-hour movie later. It
Yeah.
knows where you were at. It's like VHS.
If you just want to take the deepest dive
Yeah.
into horror, then you just sit down and, over the next 2 weeks, watch all 3 of those. But like, that's what I think. They might give it to that just for that. Just
Yeah.
Rich is out here. I got to catch this new version of COVID.
That would only get you through half of it. Yeah.
I think for me personally, I probably, because I haven't seen This Is War, I think I would choose In Search of Darkness Part 3 from a personal standpoint. But
I've heard nothing but good things about the Gore
either.
one. So yeah, I don't know.
After watching This Is Guar, it should leave you feeling like, why am I not in Guar? Like, why don't I have a Guar? So yeah, watch it.
Your own pet war. All right, move on to the next.
All right. So we got best nonfiction series or miniseries. 101 scariest horror movie moments of all time. Cursed Films 2, Boulay Brothers, Dragula Titans, Joe Bob's Ghoultide Get Together, and Queer for Fear.
Now that Cursed Film series is awesome.
Now,
Really
I got to say, though, I felt like Cursed Films 2 was a little derivative of Cursed Films 1. Like, it was the same basic premise.
You mean they didn't get into like that wasn't like a heist comedy?
Yeah. You could say the same thing about Joe Bob's Ghoultide Get Together.
Yeah, like how do you pick which Joe Bob special to nominate for nonfiction?
Yeah, exactly.
Like why not the drive-in? I guess the drive-in doesn't count as a miniseries. It's just a series.
That's a special.
I would say for me, I would, and I think I voted for Cursed Films too, but Joe Bob's probably taking this just because it's Joe Bob, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm going to say
name recognition.
Yeah.
It seems like about every 3 years there's a new 101 scariest movies, and I always love watching those around Halloween. And they break them up like TV shows, so they're about 5 parts or something. They're always fun.
Yeah, Donnie, have you seen any of these?
Cursed Films and Joe Bob's, and actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen part of the 101 horror movie moments, but yeah,
I didn't want to get spoiled, so I didn't watch that one. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be spoiled. I ain't seen all.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Cursed Films.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one.
All right, best series: Cabinet of Curiosities, Chucky, Stranger Things, What We Do in the Shadows, and Yellow Jackets. Chucky just fucked me up, man. I can't stand Chucky.
Why do you hate Chucky so much?
That's Donnie's pet peeve is Chucky.
Yeah, I can't stand.
Oh man, the original Brad Dourif from my hometown here, so it hurts me. You don't like Chucky?
Nah.
I'm
like, yeah.
I watched one episode of the Cabinet of Curiosities. I don't remember any of it, so like I didn't continue to watch it as much or at all. Stranger Things I gave up after season 2, so I don't really care. Chucky is the only thing that I like. I watched most of that season, I think. So I like the What We Do in the Shadows movie. I saw like an episode or 2 of the television show. I'm just like, it's fine, but I don't need to. I don't know how much more I need, and I don't know what Yellow Jackets is. So.
Guy at my local movie theater told me I look like Matt Berry, whatever his name is. So
did you just look at him and go, Father?
So I vote for What We Do in the Shadows.
There we go. Reason enough. I've only seen the first few episodes of Cabinet of Curiosities. I liked it, what I saw, but I haven't gone back to watch the rest of those. But as far as anthology series go, it's another one.
Yeah, for me, that's the one I would pick on this because I have seen, I think, every episode of the current, season that's out. And I don't know if y'all started with the first episode. If you did, that may, I wouldn't judge it by that one. I think it gets better after that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, I like Lovecraft a lot, and there's at least 3, I believe, that are directly, from Lovecraft, and there's a lot that are Lovecraftian. So if you're a fan of Lovecraft, then I think you're gonna like that series. So I've seen Stranger Things pretty much up to where it's currently at. And, it is what it is. It's big nostalgia fest for the 80s, which is fine. But What We Do in the Shadows, I've seen the movie. Like Adam said, I haven't even seen any episodes, but I've seen clips of episodes.
Yeah.
It is one that I want to get around to watching. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't seen Yellow Jackets. And I don't really care for. I'm not as bad as like Donnie. I'm not as adamant about hating Chucky. I do like some of the original Child's Play movies. I'm just at a certain point, I just gave up on the whole franchise, and I have no desire to really see the series. But Cabin of Curiosities would be my pick.
I could see this category going at least 3 different ways, maybe even.
Yeah.
I could see it going for Cabinet of Curiosities just because it's Guillermo del Toro. I could see Chucky just because it's Chucky, right? Stranger Things because everybody loves that show. What We Do in Shadows has its, it's kind of fan base.
Pretty good fan base because that show's been going on for a couple of years now and stuff. One of those things that I thought would get a season. And because I'm people didn't really go see that movie in giant droves and stuff like that. It did well enough.
I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those things where the show is going to be remembered better than the movie, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, probably.
That's a good point.
Who knows? I mean, I could see, and which means Yellow Jackets will win it because none of us are talking about it. Right?
My wife likes Yellow Jackets. Christina Ricci's in it. She says it's good.
There you go. Huh. What's next, Donnie?
All right. Best short. Blink. Close Your Eyes. Guts. Meat Friend. Oh, Glory.
Okay. I know nothing.
You know what?
I know nothing about any of these, but are we all meat friend in it?
Yep.
You know what? That sounds like it.
Name recognition alone. Yeah.
Yep.
And look at the picture.
I know.
Just look at the picture
thumbnail.
and the name, and if you don't want to get on board with whatever the hell Meat Friend is, I don't even know that you. How'd you get this far into the show?
That picture of Oh Glory down there, just like somebody sleeping with a breathe right strip on.
It's like somebody made a video of their mom and put it on YouTube to make her angry, and that got nominated somehow.
This lady needs Narcan, but we're gonna take a picture of her first.
It might be the worst, but we're going with Meat Friend because none of us watched any of it.
It's probably a piece of trash, but that's got the best name and a great picture, so we're going with it.
I know very little about Meat Friend, but I love everything I know.
Move it along, Donnie.
All right. Best Amityville.
This looks like something we just made up and threw in for shits and giggles, but we did not. Fangoria threw this in for shits and giggles today.
Yep.
Earlier today, when we were putting all this stuff together, they put out a 3-day poll that started today with these 5 nominees for Best Amityville Movie because all 5 of these movies got released last year.
And you ain't seen a one of them. You ain't seen one of these.
Nope.
I'm going to watch it
under the sound of God's voice is not
So Donnie, what are the nominees there?
Amityville Christmas Vacation, Amityville in Space, Amityville Karen, Amityville Scarecrow 2, and Amityville.
Okay. So next time,
I only like Amityville Scarecrow 1. That 2 can go fuck itself.
I like this list because next time I ask my wife, hey, what movie do you want to watch? And she says, anything you pick. This is the list that's coming out. You got 5 choices.
These are going to be real good.
Amityville Karen. Here we go.
That is my wife's name. Is Karen,
his wife's name's Karen, too, so she'd love it.
Perfect date night movie.
The picture on that one, the thumbnail is priceless.
Why did it take them so long to do Amityville in Space, man? I feel like they're way behind the ball on that one. Like Jason and Tim were doing it back in whenever, Hellraiser went to space way back when.
I just
Leprechaun went to space.
I want to see what kind of crazy explanation they come up with to get that haunted house in space. That's all I want to care about. I don't care about how it ends. I want to see how it begins.
You saw that Doctor Strange movie from the 70s, or no wait, it was the rip-off one from Full Moon that we just watched. What the hell was that called? Dr. Mordred. They just moved the house. It just goes into space. That's how they go.
We have a comment here from.
I picture it like another Doctor, like Doctor Who, like a TARDIS, like just rotating through space or something with Amityville windows.
It looks like that.
And this just goes to
Wasn't there a
space.
scene? Wasn't there a scene in the movie House or House 2 that looked something like that? Like,
Yes.
didn't the whole house
Yeah,
get sucked into a
too,
vortex?
right? The house too.
House
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We have a comment here from Trellanus. No Amityville, the house gets glasses.
It definitely has the eyes there.
I don't know where these spirits are, but they feel like they're inside of me.
I haven't
the
seen
house.
any of these movies, but I saw a couple of trailers for these, and they look as bad as you think.
Now,
They're bad.
it screams even with these little pictures that we see here, and I love the one with the wreath. It's great.
Yeah.
What would you compare it to like what do you call it in asylum films? Is it better or worse?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know because I haven't seen any. So like from what
Have
I
you-
saw, yeah, like it looks like we decided to make it last week.
Yeah, I'm picturing
Like,
things killing level kind of.
No, it's worse.
Adam.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
worse
worse
than that.
than that. Wow.
You remember the one about the llama that was killing people?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I think this looks because somebody just had like a stuffed llama head and they made a movie where it was killing people. That maybe these look like they're on that level.
Hmm.
Well,
I just like the fact that there's the Amityville Scarecrow too.
I do love that somebody though at Fangoria noticed like, wait a minute, there was 5 of these damn movies last year. Let's make a category out of it.
It makes me wonder how many there. How many? I wonder how many there are out of all the years. Like, I just wonder how many movies start with the word Amityville.
When we
Now. I
were
want to have a festival.
When we were still doing Deadline Horror News every Wednesday night here on the YouTube channel last year, we stopped doing it last August. A couple of these were coming out about that time, and every week we would talk about, all right, here's the new releases, right? And then we noticed, like, wait a minute, Amityville in space, what the hell? So I looked, and there's, for real, I'm not even joking, there's like 35 to 40 Amityville movies that have been made.
I'm picturing like a convention where you got a hall with like 15 different rooms, and they're all showing different Amityville movies. And you pay
Yeah,
for
but
a
also,
ticket.
yeah, I mean, you guys, well, I know most of you are, parents or whatever. At what point are you actually encouraging the behavior by giving it an award, a fucking category?
Yeah, eventually you need to learn to stop congratulating them and saying,
No.
"Hey, we want more of these things." You're
Right.
only making it worse.
You're not wrong. This might encourage more Amityville next year. So, like, the best Amityville
I feel like this category.
deep.
That was some dad
I feel
wisdom
like
right
this
there,
is
Donnie.
the worst Amityville.
Yeah, I'm not a father
What was that?
that I
Smoke?
know of. Shit.
Oh no.
What'd you say, Smoke?
I said I feel like it should be called the worst Amityville. I kind of want to see the worst
yes.
Amityville, not necessarily the best or the best worst
No,
No, that's a
Amityville.
good
You
point. That's
You might
a
have hit on
good-
something there. That's a lot harder to decide. Like, which one of these is the worst?
Have you guys picked an overarching theme for 2023 on All American Spook Show? Could it be all Amityville Spook Show for a year?
God. Well,
Oh, I think I'd want to eat a bullet or something.
That's one Amityville movie every month.
Yeah, just bite the curve.
No, one a week for 52 weeks. Come on.
Jesus.
now what
And
we
you
do,
still got 16 more to go.
it is a good.
y'all really want Will to just not be on any episodes ever.
He's really here anyways. Now he really just like he's done.
Crapster piece is just going to seep into the whole show, man.
What we've done the last 2 summers is we took a theme like that. So like summer
Oh, Amityville Summer. Come on, guys. Do it.
summer of 2021 we called it the Summer of the Wolf, and we just did werewolf movies.
Yeah, I
Last
listened to some of
summer-
those.
Last summer was Camp Spook Show. It was just summer camp movies.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't.
Is that when you guys covered Hot Chili?
Yes, Jesus.
You really made me
Hot
want to
Chili.
see that one.
And that,
Oh,
no, I don't see how. But that was because canon that was canon fodder, and that's our series where we just talk about canon films. They never made a summer camp movie, so and we referred to the expert dude. Like we
Yeah.
always have Austin Trunick, who is the author of the
Yeah.
Canon Film Guide, Volume 2. He always comes on and does his canon chronicles every time we have a canon fodder. And we even asked him, like, "Hey, is there a movie that they did at a summer camp?" Was no. The closest he could recommend was Hot Chili and Hot Resort.
I'm telling you, I can't believe that Hot Chili's as bad as you say. I got to check it out.
First of all, like it's just like
have
two movies and they both have the name Hot in it, and like one only makes sense, but like the other one, you're just like, a movie's called Hot Chili.
Cannon made a few hot movies. There was the Hot Chili, Hot Resort, and I think Hot T-shirts, and there might have been another one.
We got more hot movies than we got Amityville.
Hot Ninjas? No, not Hot Ninjas.
So getting back to the point is maybe you're right. Maybe this the summer of Amityville or something. I don't know. Smoke, you in?
Gunshot.
I'm definitely not in.
and it has to be any Amityville, not the first 3 or 4, or that.
Yeah, just take the 16 most recent Amityville movies and watch those.
God. And they were all made in the last 2 years.
In a row, right? Like just in a row.
I really think you should just say for the summer you're all Amityville Spook Show. Just do it, guys. Buy into it.
Now
Or just watch all Burt Young movies.
That might be how the Spook Show ends right there. It's like, we had a good 5-year run. That was it.
All right. Put on Amityville, chase everybody off.
Yeah. Well, that was the last category we had.
Maybe we could follow it up the following summer with the Children of the Corn, Summer of Children of the Corn.
Yeah, I think it would just be the summer of nothing, as it would be next, because there'd be nowhere else to go from there. Just a reminder there, you see on the screen, we have, let's see if you can take that forward. There it is. You see all of our, these are on the left-hand side of the screen there. You see those are the themes of like podcast episodes we do. So every other week we do a horror review, and then in between we slide in Cannon Fodder, Spook Show Spotlights, and Cult Corner. So we have different themes, and that allows us to kind of do some other movies other than horror, specifically on Cult Corner and Cannon Fodder. But over on our here on the YouTube channel, we have every month, almost every week. I stopped short of saying weekly because we do 3 a month, so it's almost weekly. We have Grindhouse Gutter, where we just review old B-movie Grindhouse movies. We have Hammer Horror in Order, which that's kind of self-explanatory. We go through the horror or the Hammer films horror archive, and we watch them in the chronological order which they were released. We have Spook Show Rewind, where we go back to the original episodes, the first 40 or 50 episodes, Donnie, that you weren't on. It gives Donnie a chance to watch those movies, give his rating. Smoke does his gore score because we didn't do that back then. So it's kind of a way for us to go back and watch some of the early stuff and give a little bit of a new spin to it. And then we just introduced Video Vortex here on the YouTube channel, where we basically the premise there is we watch the bottom of the barrel, go deep in the rabbit hole, straight to video, releases, straight to video, straight to DVD type stuff that was released back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And that first one that we did was Samurai Cop. So we started off with a big one there for sure. So
yeah, that was totally random. That whole thing is a total random wheel spin of like, I think it's up to like 400 titles that we put on a wheel. Maybe it was 300 when we chose that. But
so how big is this wheel, or is it like a virtual wheel?
It's a virtual wheel, but it's crazy.
Crazy.
It had like 300 movies on it.
That's a crazy big wheel.
You can't even see what it's spinning.
Yeah, I could bring it up.
That's almost a sick enough idea, Bruce.
Nope, not right now. We don't want to go stealing their shtick yet.
No, just for superhero movies, just put 1 billion of them on there, and then just because we have you know how it is, it's a hard enough time going like, what are we doing? How are we doing? So.
Yeah.
Whatever wheel we pick would have some magical way of knowing what the worst movie was and starting at the bottom and working its way up. Yeah,
it's true.
That is it's a way for us to kind of like, it takes the responsibility off of us. Like we throw nominees on. Well, specifically on that one, we didn't. I mean, we compiled the list, but like we don't nominate it. Some of the other ones that we choose, we all will nominate something, then we just spin the wheel to let it decide.
Yeah, I gotta
do the same thing for Cult Corner, Cannon Fodder, so on.
Yeah, if you wanted to check out the wheel, I do have it.
Yeah, go ahead and
up here.
I see it there. Is that yeah? Look, you can't even see it.
Oh, that's great though.
Oh, that's a wheel right there. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Wow.
Only that's 3 of them.
I gotta say, I've never seen a wheel this dense. That is very impressive.
And only 3 of them are non-Amityville movies.
Yeah.
watch it. There might be
and the way we do it, we spin the wheel and we eliminate a movie until we get to finally the one that we choose.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. We don't do it that way.
Round 358.
Oh boy.
We only do that for when we only have 4 or 5 nominees. For this one,
Yeah.
we just spin it and whatever it lands on. But I felt that it was ironic that the very first spin for this was Samurai Cop, like one of the craziest, weird action movies you could possibly ever pull for something like that, and that was the very first one. So,
and a great instruction manual on how to hit on women.
Something like that.
Like there's so many like moments like that when he's like talking to that nurse like right at the beginning. He's like, "Hey, we doing girl?"
No, that's known as the horny nurse scene. Yeah.
Oh, so bad. And she
Oh,
like
man.
you're looking at it, going like, "What is this woman finding this guy?" And like, it's great.
Yeah, it's
Total fiction.
so that's kind of what we got.
Perfect.
That's kind of what we got going on. What do you guys got going on? When is the new Hero Movie Podcast and all that other stuff come out?
Every single Monday, we release a new podcast talking about a superhero movie or television property of some sort. We relate it back to the comic books with which they were usually derived or have some sort of variation thereof sometimes. And sometimes we have to make some stuff up, but we do what we do. But we also relate every single one of those comic book movies or TV shows back to Sylvester Stallone 1-to-1. And we've done that many hundreds of times at this point, which is really bizarre. And the fact that Sylvester Stallone does not know we exist yet is still a bane to our existence and makes us very sad. So if you know Sylvester Stallone, have him listen to the podcast. For the love of God, we need it. We need some help.
Smoke, get on that. Let them know.
Yeah.
And
I'll make some calls.
Right.
And Bruce, we also got a little something else starting up just this week here. You want to talk about that?
Mandalorian 30 questions. Mandalorian's coming back to Disney Plus, and what we like to do is Adam, myself, and our companion Sweet Shanzi, we like to watch Mandalorian episodes and each write down 10 questions and get together and ask each other the questions and also answer them. It'd be weird, although it would be interesting, Adam, if we just asked the questions.
We just ask them and leave it on. It doesn't,
we could get through a whole episode in like 7 minutes, I think.
But the cool part is too with that is not only do we have our questions and stuff, it's a different kind of after show. There's a lot of after shows that just go beat by beat through a show and talk about every bloody point in there. That's not what our 30 questions show does. We kind of ask weird and out there questions, stuff about the show, stuff that's tangentially related to the show, things that are funny, and we get listener questions and stuff as well. So anyone that can email a question to us at starwars30q@gmail.com. And but yeah, those will be coming out Mondays along with HMP. So just look up 30 questions wherever you find podcasts. You'll see all the myriad of 30 questions podcasts that are out there. We have one that's basically all of our Star Wars 30 questions and all of our Marvel 30 questions are on 2 separate podcasts. So check those all out.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is when does that come out? Because I think the first episode came out today, right?
Came out today. And let me tell you, it's 37 minutes. It goes by super fast. But boy, I think they really have I think they know what they've got here. Because like unlike a lot of other Marvel and Disney shows where they feel, I don't think they feel super confident. They got to drop like 2 episodes. They drop 1 episode. It's short, but you're already like, ooh, we're in for it. This is good. So
yeah,
it's back, baby.
I think Mandalorian has been the best thing that they've put out, just from just about anything that they've done.
And it's been such a long time. This has been longer in between seasons than we've had. So it's been a missing part in our hearts.
Probably
Mandalorian's my comfort food, man. I'm so glad it's coming back.
How long has it been? It's probably been about 2 years, right? Since
almost.
Well, it finished up right around like Christmas time in the end of the past season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were
a
year at Christmas. Was it a year at Christmas and then now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a minute. So, and like, we were like, oh, what are we going to do? And they were like, don't worry. We got Kenobi and Boba Fett in the middle for you. And you're like,
we got another season of Bad Batch. Guys, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Just get Bad Batch season 2. Just turn that front upside down, big boy.
All right. Well, there you go. That's so you want to go check out all that stuff they got going on, all the stuff we got going on. You don't want to miss a thing. So, Adam, Bruce, we appreciate you guys coming on and having a good time here tonight. And hopefully we can do this again soon. Maybe you guys can come back on when we do the live stream during the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. If you got nothing.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. So, for Will, who's not with us, and Sean, who's not with you guys, I'm Josh.
Rest in peace.
Professor Smoke, Donnie, Adam, Bruce. All right, guys. Next time.
See ya.
Later, y'all.